And they're in the gate. They're off. And on the inside, Belly Dancer comes away quickest. Belly Dancer heads toward the lead. Pike's Pirate was away fast and races a close-up.
Some 19 years before this race, Jo Hayes arrived in Oklahoma from Minnesota, the state of her birth. A love of horses had brought her across the country to Coffee Creek Ranch in Edmond. This is where she first trained to race horses, encouraged by a fellow employee whom she would later marry. She rode in bush tracks across the region, gaining her first win at New Mexico's La Mesa Park in 1984.
It was on a mare named Sensitar, and there was an older jockey, let's see, he was on the, I think outside of me, telling me to drop down, and I didn't want to drop down because the track had been rained on and it was kind of pretty deep on the inside, so I just stayed where I was and I outran him, and it was just really a neat experience.
Now with her husband as a trainer, Jo made her way through the region winning races. One of her favorite horses, Prospector Miles, who ran and won at Remington Park. But the winning pictures of Jo atop a racehorse ended abruptly, one fall day in 1997. It was the first race of the day, November 27th, her 39th birthday, and Jo Hayes had the mount of Slusational Belle.
The only thing I remember of that race was the horse had its head cocked before it came out of the gates, and that's because it had a flipping halter on, and most thoroughbreds don't go in a flipping halter.
Then Slusational Belle and DeFlash remains the trailer, saving some ground, the half and 46-1. Midpoint on the turn now. And Pike's Pirate and Belly Dancer go heads apart. Belly Dancer is off the rail. Now there's a horse down. Hopefully a winner fell around the turn. And also losing the rider was Slusational Belle in a two-horse spill at the far turn.
I don't remember anything of the fall or, anything.
Jo was paralyzed from the waist down and faced a life confined to a wheelchair. Medical bills quickly overwhelmed the family. This was when the call came from Nancy LaSala of the PDJF, the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund.
It was kind of a surprise, I guess, when Nancy LaSala got a hold of me and told me that they would possibly, give me a monthly check, and we're thinking about this for other jockeys that were paralyzed, and it's really meant a lot because it has helped so much. I can pay, a lot of bills and just household bills and stuff, and it's just been a tremendous help.
The Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund is a charity that provides financial assistance to some 60 former jockeys who have suffered catastrophic on-track injuries. Since its founding in 2006, the fund has dispersed over $2 million to permanently disabled jockeys, most of whom have sustained paralysis or brain injuries.
I have to just say thank you for people's generosity, their love and concern, and I just want them to know that it really is a big help.
With support from the PDJF and the generosity of so many, Jo regained hope and optimism about her future, and today she has no regrets about her choice to be a professional rider.
I guess if I could walk today, there'd be that want to get back on a racehorse, and ride again. I think with jockeys, it's always in your blood or whatever, kind of whatever people love to do, it just seems to stay in their blood.
Jo still rides, if not at the speeds she had once known.
On one hand, it was great, and on the other hand, it was really kind of a bummer, because now I was having to ride these old, slow horses, and it was, thank God for them, but it was such a difference from riding a racehorse.
She's come through more than her share of challenges. Most people want to ask her how she maintained such a positive attitude.
I guess it's just my faith in God, and I have a husband who's Christian also, and just the fact that we've been able to stay together and a family that supports me and helps me has just meant so much. That's really what helps and what counts,
As for what the future holds for Jo and her family, only time will tell. But the woman and the jockey who once raced to the thrill of beating the best is still winning. Her hope was born in the moment she had learned of her paralysis.
The doctor told my family that I would be a paraplegic, and then I found out. And you know, that was hard. You know, I didn't want to believe it, you know, and always hoping that I would walk again. And actually, I still believe that I will someday, but you know, we'll see.